It was a hot summer's day. Katie found out that when the house gets really warm in the summer, even if you open all the windows, it doesn't always cool down. Orbie learned that the higher up in the house you go, the hotter it gets. And they both discovered that ice melts in your lemonade really quickly when you're outside in the sun. Katie was stuffing her swim bag into the trunk of the car when Arthur hurried up the driveway. His mom waved goodbye and wished them all a great day. They knew it would be because today they were going to the water slide. When they got there, Mom and Dad set up a place for their things where everyone could meet if they got separated at all. As Mom and the friends climbed the stairs to the slides, Dad watched from below. He would wait at the bottom in case anyone needed help when they came out. At the first slide landing, Katie looked in and saw a huge cavern-like hole with water rushing down it. There were big bumps, and she couldn't see the bottom. Katie sure didn't want to go first. Orbie did, and Arthur wanted to go right after him. Mom agreed. The slide supervisor told Orbie to wait while the teenage boys ahead of them went down. It was hard to wait, but soon enough, it was his turn. The man held Orbie's arm while he sat down. He asked if he was ready. Orbie tooted yes, and the man let go. Orbie made a funny tooting sound as the slide and the water whisked him away. In the long tunnel section of the slide, Orbie went over some great bumps that made his stomach rise and fall. Then the tube spiraled around in a great rush of water. He giggled all the way. As he slid closer to the bottom, Dad was right there, ready for Orbie. But Orbie waved him away, and with a grand swoosh, he shot off the end of the slide and landed kersplash in the water. His head popped right up, and he swam to Dad. When he got out of the water, he couldn't burble fast enough about how much fun it had been. Dad nodded and then turned around just in time to see Arthur come flying out. Arthur was laughing all the way into the water and came up sputtering. Dad helped him out, then moved closer for Katie. Katie screamed all the way down, but it was her joyful, "I'm having fun" scream. She flew right into Dad's arms, and they both fell back in the water with a splash. Mom came down next. On their way up again, Katie, Orbie, and Arthur were ahead of the same teenage boys. They were talking about how that first slide was really just for little kids. It didn't bother Katie at all, but Orbie looked at Arthur. When Katie and Mom stopped at the lowest slide, Orbie burbled that he and Arthur wanted to try the next one up. Mom nodded. The boys did seem to be totally fine with the whole adventure. Katie called after them that they were very brave. They both felt hugely proud to be called brave. Katie and Mom waited to make sure the boys got to the next level safely. Katie was helped onto her slide, and in a swish, she was gone. Mom went next. Above, waiting at the next slide, the two boys were very excited. When they looked down, the ground seemed far away, and at that very moment, the teenagers walked by and pointed up. Orbie and Arthur both looked straight up. There was another slide. It was much higher than where they were. Arthur tugged on Orbie's arm. As they left the line they were in, he told Orbie that if the little slide was fun, imagine how much fun an even higher slide would be. They raced up the stairs, passing the teenagers. At the next level, the boys looked over the railing and realized that they were so high up they couldn't see Dad. The people on the ground seemed tiny. The two friends were both feeling a little unsure. That's when one of the teenagers spoke directly to them. He told them that to go down the even higher slide, you had to be tough and not give in to fear. Both were afraid to go higher, but slowly they crept up. Arthur pointed out that from where they were now, the slide looked really winding and wild. But he didn't say, let's not go on it. Orbie wished he had. After a few more steps, Orbie pointed out that they still had a way to go, but he didn't say, so let's not go any further, which Arthur wished he had. They both wanted to be brave, but in fact, neither of them were feeling very brave at all. Behind them, the teenager said that these two friends might be just the bravest kids he'd ever met. With gulps, they inched up. Soon they reached the top. As they inched closer and closer to the slide, Orbie held onto Arthur's hand and Arthur held him right back. The teenager laughingly asked them if they were chickening out. Neither one of them responded. The slide operator noticed that the two friends were frightened. She whispered to them that it was far better to admit that you were afraid and go back than to do something you didn't really want to do. Arthur and Orbie grinned, relieved. They turned to head down the stairs and bumped right into Dad. He was out of breath from running all the way up. When they hadn't come out the bottom, he knew something was wrong. Dad thanked the slide operator. They all walked down to the slide 2 platforms below, where they formed a chain and bounced through the winding tunnels, occasionally coming out into sunny parts where they could see far below. When they shot out the bottom, 1, 2, 3, no one was happier to see them than Katie. Katie grabbed Orbie and hugged him close, and Dad explained what had happened, and Mom glowed with pride. She told them she was impressed beyond words that they hadn't let the teenager pressure them into going. The 2 boys felt better about their decision. So was Dad, who was delighted that he didn't have to go down that wild ride after them. And I hope if someone tries to make you feel like doing something you really don't want to do, that you'll be as brave as Orbie and Arthur and say no. If you do, I, for one, will be enormously proud of you.